Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Hey and welcome today. Today joined by me, Daniel, and also we have in Ridell Apellanes.
Close enough, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, tell me a bit about yourself.
Uh, yeah, my name's Ridell. I'm a concept artist. I'm living in the LA area. Right now, I'm focusing on environments, and I've been using like VR and Blender, and then Photoshop to I'm trying to mix the three to create environments. And I also work at a brainstorm school, one of the concept art schools here.
Cool.
We're
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So that's me.
so you're still at the concept art school at the
Yeah,
moment?
I work for it, but I also take classes at it while
Oh,
also
cool.
trying to freelance on the side and do my own personal studies.
That's
I'm
always
like,
interesting. Yeah, it's
uh,
always interesting having teachers and staff and things like that
mm,
at the course or school that you work at.
yeah,
You're learning it and having like your teachers being part of your classes and things like that. It's always interesting to have that happen. Um,
yeah,
so I remember when I think one of my years, one of the uh, one of the guys was with me kind of in the illustration class that we
mm,
had for I think it was my second year, and then in my third year of the course he was like a teacher there. I was like, oh my gosh, that was really
yeah,
quick, him being a teacher. It's like, oh my gosh, really.
yeah,
um It was really cool to see though, but I think he came to course and he did his course, but he also was teaching on this like freelance teaching on the side as well. Um,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
Like
always
I more so help with scheduling and like turning on the online classes now, but that does happen with like my friends too, or they're like, yo, this like pro guy is like sitting right next to me back when we did classes in person. So it's always funny.
mm,
But yeah.
yeah. Oh, so you like help with people's schedules.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, cool. How did you get into that? Is it?
Um I I got the job just from because I wasn't working beforehand.
Mm,
So I was just kind of open, and then I was helping I was being as helpful as I could in the classes in anyways, but like kind of trying to get the other students to like come out with me to go draw and stuff, and then like eventually a spot opened up, and I was like, sure, yeah, I'll work, girl, I can help more.
yeah, it's
And
always awesome.
so now I'm doing that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think in my course.
Mm.
Well, they had like peer tutors. Um, they get you get paid for doing it, which was pretty cool. And I think I was one of the last to do it. There was about two
Mm.
or three of us that actually were interested in that kind of thing at the
Mm.
time. Um, I was one of the last of, I think it was three or four of us that ended up peer tutoring some of the lower level like classes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like.
it was interesting. So I found it because it was Illustrator. It was the program Adobe Illustrator.
Mm.
Yeah, it was teaching someone that. Where I was kind of the only one in the class that used it.
Yeah.
Um, I
It's
was
hard.
I was
It's hard teaching people. Yeah.
yeah. Like it was, yeah. I mean, everyone kind of used it and kind of knew how to use it. But if there was like an issue with their Illustrator file or they were trying to figure out something with it, I was always the one they would go to and be like, "Do you know how to fix this?" And I'll be like, I don't know, and I just fiddle around with things, and then it'll be like, oh, I fixed it, and it's like, oh, I had no
Yeah.
clue what I was doing, but I managed to fix it, and I found out with like things like Illustrator and even Photoshop and those kind of programs that we use. Um, it is a bit of just figuring things out and just having a play and you know, finding what
Yeah.
these tools do. Um,
Yeah, like when I'm sitting like right next to someone, it's easy for me to just like be like, yo, let me just sit there and like mess with stuff for like 10 minutes until I figure it out. But then
yeah,
so it's like I know that I fully know something if I can just explain it to them like without even looking at it. It's like, "Oh, check this menu," and they go to this sub menu and then click this thing and they're like, "Oh, dude, it worked."
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, I actually tried doing my first Gumroad tutorial series like last month, and it's like that's kind of my first time trying to teach people stuff, and I'd gotten like a bunch of feedback from friends of like stuff that I completely overlooked just because when you know something or like when you're more familiar with it, you forget what it's like to like also just have no knowledge of the thing at all. So like I'm pretty sure for you too, it's like if someone asks like you're if you're just working on a Photoshop file and then you're doing all the wacky stuff and then someone's like, wait, what are layers?
Hmm.
And then so there's like a bunch of those kind of ingrained stuff that I
Yeah,
need to like go back and kind of reiterate on.
yeah, exactly.
That's cool. Yeah.
But you kind of um learn it better when you're teaching it, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I hear.
Mm.
That's what I'm. So I like I I'm basically TA for a bunch of the classes at our school, so it's also cool seeing everyone's different teaching style
Mm.
because some people are more about like encouraging the students, and then some people are more about that like harsh like technical approach.
Mm.
So it's cool seeing or it's cool seeing like how they're reinforcing their own learning from with their own style of teaching. But yeah,
It can be helpful to have both, um,
yeah,
in a way, but it doesn't work for everyone. Um,
yeah.
I know that kind of a really grumpy teacher, just going back to school, um, it actually can help me in a way. But for some people, it would have just really frustrated them and just they didn't want to do it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, there was a really, really grumpy teacher
Mm.
that we had, learning English. I was really, pretty bad at learning English and reading and writing and all those things.
Mm.
Um, so, with that, with her being grumpy and, egging me on to do all my homework and kind of read every book and all that stuff,
Mm.
eventually, I went up probably a level and a half in English. You know, I was really
Yeah.
frustrated with her, and um, even at one stage, my mum didn't like her.
You
But
just like push through.
yeah, I got through it. There was some tears
Mm.
and some definitely some bad times, but I got through it, and I managed to actually get myself a level and a half
Yeah,
in English. You know,
that's cool.
so sometimes it can work, but for some people it doesn't work at all. It just puts them down. It
Mm.
can make them feel kind of.
Yeah, yeah, because it's always depends on the person, like how they grew up or how
Mm,
they learn stuff too and stuff. But wait, so is English your second language?
No,
or
English
oh,
is yeah my first.
oh, okay, okay. It was just to get better at English,
Yeah,
like writing and stuff. Cool.
I started off kind of I didn't really fully talk till I was 5. You know, I was
Mm.
obviously I was saying words and making noises and things like that, but I wasn't, you
Yeah,
know.
me too.
But yeah, I wasn't
Hmm.
doing like full-fledged conversations at 5,
Mm.
you know, so
Yeah,
I did have um that to deal with
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. But
But
also, yeah, the other way as well, you know, if they're too encouraging um on things, you know, it can be like they might be kind of doing
yeah, like,
something wrong.
and then it like builds up their ego, and
Yeah.
then yeah,
So much the other
but
way
yeah,
can be for some people. Some people need that though. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like a fine, it's like a balancing act, and then
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun to like observe and see everyone's like growth over the semesters too. I have some friends who like started with me, and like because I'm self-taught, and so I started drawing like a long time ago, but then I got frustrated with self-teaching,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
started going to this school in like 2018,
Oh, cool.
and it's pretty cool seeing like friends that I first met here also like their careers moving forward and stuff.
Mm.
Um, and then it's all like sometimes it's from a specific thing that they learned in a class, and then it just like clicked. It's pretty cool. But yeah.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah. I was wondering what the YGG rest is on your is
hmm?
a portfolio.
Oh, Yggdrasil or whatever.
Yeah.
The like kind of Norse tree. Yeah, I've been so those are some of the pieces that I am trying to use VR with.
Mm.
So in VR, it lets you kind of sculpt, but without a lot of the technicalities of some of the other like 3D programs where you have to like learn menus or like learn a
Mm.
specific way to do specific shapes and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I'm liking VR lately because I have that kind of freedom to play stuff, and also just because I'm really bad at perspective. But
Yeah.
so it's like the metaphor that I think about for it in my head is like in high school we in calculus in high school we had those like big $100 calculators that like do so much for you,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I'm trying to like leverage the 3D to like do my perspective and my lighting like at least part way for me.
Mm.
so so I'm having fun with those because you can be more organic and free with how you lay out a scene and stuff, and
Mm.
I guess it shows because people like I released that tutorial, made some money off of it, and then got like a couple of my like favorite artists to follow me on ArtStation, so that's like a cool feeling.
Cool. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
pretty cool. I saw some of your work there, and it's pretty good.
Mm,
You know,
thanks.
it's interesting that we can do 3D kind of VR these days and seeing what you
Yeah,
can do.
yeah, because it's like um, probably probably too specific, but it's like it's cool because VR specifically like, and the program I use is Adobe Medium,
Mm.
and like I mentioned, it's like not like a typical 3D modeling program
Mm.
because you can also like the way you move around your arms and stuff, you can get almost painterly with it,
Yeah, yeah,
where you can have like you can stamp specific objects and whatnot like a environment artist, but you can also just like throw paint down like a painter.
yeah,
That's another thing I like about it.
yeah. Well, I've seen some pretty cool stuff like
Hmm.
some people making like Van Gogh paintings in it, and
Yeah,
like it's pretty awesome to see.
yeah. Like, there's this one lady, I forget what her handle is, but like she uses Tilt Brush, which is a different program, and
mm,
that one is way more painterly. But her
yeah,
videos are cool because it's like she's like dancing around as she's like painting, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
she does that thing where you can like zoom in to your piece, and then there's like another piece inside the piece. I
Wow,
like So I like that.
that's
I
pretty
like
cool.
those two.
It's like I've
But
seen
yeah.
something like that where I don't know if it's Simpsons or something.
Hmm.
But they make like Homer's head out of all the characters from Simpsons.
What?
I
That's cool.
think it's
I'll have
something
to look.
like that. I think it might have been an intro or something, but I remember it for some reason.
I'll look that up a bit later. That sounds really fun.
Yeah. Used
But
to,
yeah.
I remember back when we had like Word and things like that, that
Hmm.
people were making these head shapes like, yeah, Homer and um,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Kirby and all these shapes with, just simple kind of lines. The
Yeah.
all the keyboard keys that you can do, which was
Yeah.
interesting
The
to
like
see.
ASCII art or whatever, where it's
Yeah.
like the like slash marks and the periods and whatever.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are funny. I used to I used to spend a lot of time on Twitch, and like the chats that I would hang out in, it would always be like people spamming like those big copy pastes of just like pictures of stuff.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
like that stuff too.
yeah. People try to do it on there.
Cool.
Yeah, it got really big. Like, um, I would say about two.
Mm.
It'd be before 2010, somewhere around there, I
Mm.
think. Um, when it was kind of the big thing. Definitely at my school, but yeah.
Yeah, I remember there used to be a lot of those sites where it's like kind of text adventure, kind of dungeon crawlers, but it's only with the like that type of art
Mm.
or
Okay.
whatever. I I,
Yep.
li- I I liked messing around on those growing up too. Actually, let's see. I actually downloaded I, I played have you ever heard of the game Dwarf Fortress?
No, sorry.
It's this like crazy deep like city builder game uh where like you can zoom in so far as to like look at so you embark with a caravan of dwarves, and then you can it's so detailed where the dude has like physics coded in, and like you can look at the individual, you can inspect the individual dwarves as like arms and legs or whatever, but it's all ASCII art or whatever. and,
Oh.
and so like cats are just the letter C, dwarves are just like smiley faces,
Oh, gee.
but it's
Interesting.
like a super deep fantasy city builder. It's like one of the there's plenty of videos talking about it. It's really crazy and it's free.
Oh, yeah.
But I was messing around on that for like the first time in like 7 years because I used to play it a lot in like high school, but
Yeah.
I like re-downloaded it just because I need like that hit of kind of remembering it.
Mm.
But that one's a really fun one with that kind of art.
Oh, cool.
But
It's always
but yeah,
interesting.
because it's like that kind of randomness to it. I'm like trying to bring it back to the art side of things. It's like that randomness to it is kind of something I like in paintings where like there's unexpected stuff, but it's also what I like in kind of stories maybe, or like how we think up stories, cuz what's it called? Cuz there's always like unexpected stuff that happens in that game. Like
Mm.
you'll be building out your fort, and then suddenly like a gargoyle comes out of nowhere and like picks up your dwarf and flies away with him. And then and I think that's part of kind of the fun that I want to kind of have when I do my own world building for my environments.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, probably help with like unexpected plot twists and um yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah, like
pretty cool.
what's it called? How they, or how the story kind of unfolds and like how kind of, like I haven't really channeled the sense of humor
Yeah.
into my art just yet, but there's that kind of uh, roundabout and kind of randomness to it that's really fun.
Mm. I think sense of humor in art is kind of challenging. Like,
Yeah.
um, you can paint something that's funny and it might be funny to you, but sometimes it's not funny to everyone.
Yeah.
Or it's not. It can be too subtle sometimes.
Yeah.
I
But
guess.
then there's like a couple artists, I can't remember their names right now, but they have like Renaissance level painting skills, but then they just like paint cats making dumb faces or like
Yeah.
memes or something.
Yeah.
I like that too. But
Mm. It's always interesting. I've
yeah.
I've always wanted to kind of, I guess, make people laugh with my art
Mm.
at some point. Uh, because I started out wanting to kind of be an animator on something like Family Guy,
Mm.
um, or like Robot Chicken and those kind of things.
Mm. Yeah. I love
Um,
Family Guy, Robot Chicken.
yeah,
Used to watch a lot of Adult Swim.
mm, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's where it kind of started. So I kind of wanted to make kind of funny comedy things.
Mm.
Um, and I still kind of enjoy trying to make her laugh, and I try to do that with, I do these drawings each week, so I do 4 drawings a week,
Mm.
in my sketchbook at least, and I use 4 different words, and sometimes I have fun and do something quite funny, or tell a joke in a way, like I think I had the word potty the other day, um,
Mm.
and you know, so I had this like crocodile. I didn't always do it at the start. I was just like, oh, let's draw a character, creature, or something on a potty.
Mm.
Eventually, it turned into an alligator on the potty. So I eventually had to draw, the toilet paper next to him to have
Mm.
that whole joke of, you know.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, it's always
Y-
fun to play
Yeah.
around and um, you do something different in your stories, in illustrations.
Yeah. Yeah. Like and even those like kind of web comics are always fun to go through. Like I can't remember their names right now, but those four panel kind of comics where
Mm.
it's just like something wacky or something funny. Even it's weird because it's like my art doesn't reflect the kind of taste that I'm talking about of like stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
but there's like a lot of even YouTube animators that I really like, where it's like they do wacky gags and whatever. It's really fun.
Like
But yeah,
ASDF is kind of one.
hmm.
That's interesting to see.
Yeah, or like like Meat Canyon.
Yeah. Oh,
Meat
me can.
Canyon's really weird, but it's like it's so weird. It's funny a lot of the time. And then like Psychic Pebbles and Oni and some of those other dudes, they're really funny.
But it's interesting
Hmm.
to you say that because yeah, a lot of I hear some artists like even Bobby Chio and Adam Duff and
Hmm.
these artists in there, they talk about, who they admire and their kind of um, artists that they're inspired by and everything like that. And you're like, their art's completely different sometimes,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
cool. Um, but we kind of take all this art in, and learn from it, and we're not kind of copying it. So which is
Yeah,
good.
it's yeah. That reminds me, or that it's like a cool thing because it's um, like we have our like full background and personality and whatever, but then like being able to choose which parts of it you express or you use for specific types of art is really cool.
Mm.
Like this is like my casual, like this is the stuff that I watch for like entertainment, but when I'm making like concepts or whatever, I'm thinking of specific other artists who like I love just as much, but they're not like wacky and stuff. And so it's pretty cool that we can pick and choose like that. But yeah.
Yeah. So other than like art and things, do you have any hobbies and things that you like doing?
No hobbies. Just kidding. No. I used to play like I used to play a lot of video games, but then
Mm.
been cutting video playing video games away
Yeah,
bit by
yeah,
bit
fair
just so I
enough.
can have more time to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I'm still in that kind of mindset, but yeah, I play video games a lot, like hanging out with my buddies on Discord.
Mm.
Like I can't sit down and play like Path of Exile for 10 hours like I used to, but I'll play like Among Us with my buddies like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
couple times a week for a few hours. So,
yeah. Well, it's not bad. Um,
yeah.
it is. It's definitely challenging.
Yeah.
For me, I like gaming,
Mm,
and I only get about um 2 hours a night to
mm,
you know roughly 2 hours
yeah.
to paint, draw, and game.
Mm.
So I kind of have to be really strict about it. Um,
Yeah, I'm still like beginner level when it comes to setting boundaries like that
mm,
because it's easy for me to like if I start playing a game like right now, I might
yeah.
if I don't cut it off after like an hour, I'll like go the whole day.
Mm,
But but yeah, I like video games. I used to play a lot of WoW and other MMOs and RPGs and whatnot. Like I grew up with like Nintendo systems, but like I also like anime.
mm.
Also like watching TV shows. Like I need to watch the Mandalorian
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the second season, yeah, the
yeah.
second season for that came up or started a couple weeks ago, and
Mm.
then my friends are like about to talk about it every time, so I have
Yeah,
to like
yeah.
pull my headphones off real quick for like
Yeah.
10 minutes, and like
No.
go downstairs and eat something.
Yeah, that's how it
Yeah,
is. But I suppose you could watch it all at once, like once it's out as well, if you wanted to.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
which is always good to do, rather than having to wait each week for the clips to come out.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's cool to
yeah,
see that. I really enjoy that, watching that. It's cool to
yeah.
to
I
see.
have a friend that does that. Like he refuses to watch an anime series until like all the episodes of that season are out, and then he just binges it in like one day.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Jesus, what if it's like something like Naruto, where it's got
oh
like I think it's
god,
got
yeah,
like
like yeah, like I was gonna start watching One Piece at the start of quarantine, but then I was like, man, this is like 900 episodes. So, but my
it's
friends swear by it. So.
yeah. That's gone on for years though. Like I remember back in probably early 2000s.
Yeah, it's like from when we were kids. It's like
Yeah,
still going.
I'm like really still going. I remember watching that sometimes. Like back when you'd have Dragon Ball Z and
Yeah.
um I think even what's that? There's a monsters one. Hotel
Which one?
for Monsters, I think it was called.
Foster's
Yeah.
Home. Or was it Cartoon Network? Yeah,
Yes.
Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I had to watch Dragon Ball Z in Spanish because we didn't have the channel to like watch it in English because you know before everything was on demand. It was like we had to subscribe to specific channels or something.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's how old that stuff is. It's cool.
Yeah. With that and yeah, I think one of the shows I remember
Mm.
was it was the Monsters, Real Monsters, I think it was called.
Mm.
It was interesting because one of the characters, I don't think you'd see it in TV these days if it was made like,
Oh, this
these
show.
days.
Yeah, this is like
Because
the kind of like together with like Ren and Stimpy and like some of those other shows like freaking Cat Dog and stuff.
yeah,
I
because
remember
with
these.
this
Yeah.
one, this character, he had his eyes on his hands, and he had full like armpit hair and hairy legs and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah.
And you're like,
He's like a massive flesh. Yeah.
mm-hmm. And that was kind of normal to see in those days, but these
Yeah.
days, if it was to play on TV,
Yeah,
it
people would be
wouldn't.
like, "What is this? This isn't aesthetic."
Yeah.
that's that's another thing that I'm trying to kind of reach for when I'm doing stuff. Is like I'm trying to not make something that's just like standardized to what everyone else does nowadays.
Mm,
But I can't do the playfulness of like animated shows just yet. But I love this is the stuff I love too.
mm,
Where it's like cause even like even something as bizarre as like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like just saying that
mm,
it's like it's part of our dictionary now, but like if you break it into its pieces, it's like it doesn't make any sense.
mm.
But it's like it's something fun.
Yeah,
I like that.
definitely. Yeah, it's great to go in the past and see, what was out there, like
Yeah,
surrealism, back in those days.
yeah.
The surrealists. That
Yeah,
was
like
really interesting. So I studied that for a little bit.
mm,
Um, and that was pretty cool. Like what they did. Like I think one of the pieces with like the clocks kind of breaking up um
yeah,
and yeah, being realistically unreal in a way.
yeah,
Was cool to see, and that I think that looking at that and seeing that and studying that has really helped me to try and um to kind of push a boundary, because back then I was just like, draw a turtle and make it look like a turtle kind of a thing,
yeah,
and trying to make something look as realistic as possible.
yeah,
Um, and just seeing all that and doing that helped me to try and push away from that and try to push towards, yeah, creating something interesting and different,
yeah,
telling stories.
yeah. Because it's like, um, it's like we think we're like so far ahead, and like we think we're like way smarter than you know people from 20 years ago or like 200 years ago. But it's like the the way that people in the past play with shapes and like ideas is like it's like what's it called? It's so there's so much to learn and to take inspiration from,
Mm,
and so that's why that's a cool thing. And even and it's cool because the time we live in, we can literally reach back as far into the past as we want at any given moment.
mm.
And so, like when you mentioned surrealism, I thought of like Courage the Cowardly Dog because that one like
Yeah,
mixed kind of surrealism with horror and kind of mixed media kind of things with some of the monsters that it's like one of the episodes is just like a dude's face, and then but yeah,
yeah. I think I remember one where his dad or something
mm,
turned into, or was it his mum? His mum turned into like a big spider thing with her head
mm,
on it. And oh, there were some interesting things that happened in that show.
Yeah.
Um,
That one was one that like scared me so much I'd have to like change the channel, like or like watch with like covering my eyes or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think I was kind of used to it because seeing the shows like the real monsters and things like that,
Mm.
I really like enjoyed them, and I think that kind of put me towards seeing something like Character Cowardly Dog was the normal thing for me, and it was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, and I did really enjoy that, like odd, interesting things, shows like that, and art as well,
Yeah.
illustrations like. That's why I kind of enjoy Bobby Chiaro's work because he has those creepy, interesting characters that he draws.
Yeah, his like black and white sketches, his like ballpoint.
Yeah, and same with
Yeah.
like some of Adam Duff's work. It's got interesting style to it too.
Mm.
It's cool to see those kind of artists. Um,
Yeah, it's like two totally different styles.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh. How am I not following Adam Duff? Follow. There we go.
Awesome. Yeah. So, do you see yourself many art goals?
mm, just like in general.
Yeah. Do you know?
Uh, yeah, because I'm still like my career is still kind of starting
Mm,
because I took a long time to kind of learn and I'm taking a long time to get started.
yeah. Yeah.
And so obviously we want to make like a living wage and just make money or whatever. But some of my other interests is like community building, like with like it's the whole reason I got to where I am right now
Yeah.
is from like community building with like other artists and stuff.
Mm.
And then like I want to work on a game, dude. I've been in kind of the portfolio building loop for forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like something that yeah, it's like something that's kind of interesting and that I see across some students sometimes too is where like we'll just get stuck because there's always something new to learn and then it's like you have to learn new things and new programs and software while also kind of reinforcing what you've learned before, like refreshing. And then it's like easy to get stuck in that loop. But
Yeah.
I wanna work on something. And I've gotten some freelance offers recently, but I need to like learn how to actually like go about that procedure or
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Yeah.
There's like a procedure to it where but
Yeah.
those are some goals, just career stuff, and then get to a spot where I can eventually like meet someone, start a family or something like that.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's me.
It's always challenging. It's a kind of a portfolio is a constant thing. Um,
Yeah,
and that's something you kind of everyone is listening or anything like that. It's always a constant thing.
yeah,
It's not a one-time fix that you create a portfolio and voila.
yeah,
You gotta keep changing it. You gotta keep working on it. It develops with you. Um, it's like
yeah.
for me, mine's kind of my YouTube channel in a way. I do
Mm,
obviously have a portfolio, but even with my kind of YouTube channel, it's changed. Probably year or two ago, I was just doing this. I was probably about 2 years ago now. I was just
yeah,
doing it, trialing it out, and talking with artists when I do, and making my own videos when I can.
yeah.
Um, and
Yeah, doing
then
YouTube is hard.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I used to do my own like little vlog on YouTube, but then I stopped uploading to it last year because I was like, for me, I was spending a bunch of time like learning editing stuff, and I
mm,
was like, wait, could be drawing.
yeah,
But then it's also like I I was flipping through like some of the artists that you got on here, and it's like you got like really cool artists to come on to talk, and like just the for me like I get nervous at the idea of just asking someone to be like, "Yo, you want to chat for like 45 minutes?"
Yeah,
So I think that's a cool thing too that you got going on.
thanks. Yeah, it's been great. I really enjoy just, talking to people, reaching out, and
Mm,
um, learning about all these interesting artists and
yeah,
what their opinion is and things like that. It's really cool to hear. Um,
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I think I was saying 2 years ago. Um, yeah, I was just going about it. I didn't really do much with the thumbnails,
mm,
and yeah, I talked to eventually, I got to talking to Adam Duff, um, and obviously
mm.
he's
Wow.
a YouTube artist as well. And
Mm,
he's some really cool advice there. Eventually, that led me into actually thinking a bit more about like the actual titles of my YouTube videos and
mm,
the thumbnails and everything like that.
yeah,
So after his kind of video, that's where I kind of got a bit more into it.
yeah.
Um,
Like that
there.
consistency and that like ability to like make a good title and like and
Mm,
a good thumbnail is like still wizardry to me.
yeah, and
But yeah.
then I think another year or and a half,
Mm,
another learning curve as well.
mm,
Um, my whole kind of YouTube channel changed its look again,
mm,
into what it is today. It's the same with portfolios. It's gonna do that. It's gonna you're gonna have art there
yeah,
eventually. Um, it's gonna
yeah,
completely change one day, into something way better. You
yeah.
keep.
That's a cool thing. Is like I I I recently like just worked on a painting that I started like at the beginning of the year, and then it kind of made me realize that it's all like fluid and it's always changing. Like because your tastes change, your eye for, let's say in the case of like a YouTube channel, like your eye for what the thumbnail should look like changes, or like you just want to rebrand to so it's consistent across your social media or whatever. And then like that kind of thing is cool because it's like it's never set in stone. And I think that's a really cool thing.
Yeah,
You can like
exactly.
curate it how you want.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah, I think if knowing that this wasn't going to be the end all portfolio, that um, yeah, that does really help to know that it's constantly going to change.
yeah,
Um, but try and build, the best portfolio you can at the time, and
yeah,
eventually it will slowly kind of build itself and develop. If you don't, if yeah,
yeah. Because even right now, I'm like I have two pieces on my art station that are like in black and white, and I'm like looking at them like, man, I could do that better, and I could do it faster.
yeah,
So I actually might work on something like that today or something.
yeah, awesome, cool.
But yeah,
Yeah. So, anything else you'd like to say or talk about?
make sure to like and subscribe to Daniel's channel because it's pretty epic.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks
Nice.
everyone.
Yeah.
um,
Cool.
yeah. Same back to you. Make sure that you go and find your art station at
Ah.
poodlypoodly.com.
Yeah.
Um, Ridell Apellanes.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh. Right. I. Yeah. Like if you're interested in learning about how to use this is for people listening. If you're interested in learning about VR for environment design, I have some tutorials on my ArtStation. Could link them.
awesome. Yeah.
I'll send you the link that I use for that. Cool.
Awesome. Yeah. That will be down below on the YouTube video. Your links will be down there. So anyone
Mm.
interested, awesome. Um, So yeah, thank you for joining me today.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. It was fun.
welcome. Thanks everyone for coming in, tuning in, whether it was, live on Twitch or whether it was on YouTube. Really do appreciate everyone that does come in and watch these streams.
Mm.
Keep drawing, keep creating, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Later. Cool.